I am here with you, right where you are. I can feel how heavy this has been sitting, not loud, just constant. That quiet pressure in your chest, the sense that something about you is off, that you missed a turn you were supposed to take. You don't have to explain it to me. You don't have to organize it into a story. I know how this word shows up. Failed. It doesn't arrive all at once. It settles in slowly, in pauses, in the way your shoulders stay tense even when nothing is happening. Sometimes it comes when you're alone at night. Sometimes in the middle of ordinary moments, when no one else would guess you're carrying it. I'm not here to argue with the feeling. I'm not here to push it away. I'm sitting beside you while it's here. You've been holding yourself very tightly, as if relaxing would mean admitting something terrible, as if softness would confirm your worst fear. I see how careful you've become with hope, how measured your expectations are now, how you brace without realizing you're doing it. You're allowed to rest in this moment, not to solve anything, not to reach clarity, just to let the weight be noticed, without judgment, without conclusions. I'm not scanning you for mistakes. I'm not keeping score. I'm staying. Even with the word you're afraid might be true. Nothing needs to shift yet. Nothing needs to make sense. We can just sit here with how it feels right now. I can sense when this began to sound convincing to you. Not as a thought, as a feeling that learned how to stay. There was a moment or a season when something didn't unfold the way you held it in your hands. Maybe it was quiet, no dramatic collapse, just a slow realization that things were not lining up anymore. Disappointment didn't shout, it whispered, and it used your own voice. You didn't decide to believe this about yourself. It grew while you were trying to keep going, while you were adjusting, while you were telling yourself it was fine. I know how alone that made you feel, how isolating it was to carry questions with no clear place to set them down. Others may have moved on quickly, but you stayed behind in the moment, replaying it, turning it slightly each time, hoping it would look different. I see how carefully you've held that memory, not to punish yourself, but because you wanted to understand. You wanted to be honest. There's a tenderness in that, even if it didn't feel like it then. I'm not asking you to reinterpret it. I'm not asking you to forgive anything. I'm just here with you in the remembering, with the version of you who didn't know what else to do. You didn't fail in that moment. You were present. You were human. And I'm still with you now, looking at it together, without urgency. I notice the effort you don't talk about, the kind that doesn't leave evidence behind. You kept showing up, even when the inside of you felt thin, even when it would have been easier to disappear for a while. No one saw the restraint it took, the energy it cost to stay kind, to stay functional, to stay available. You learned how to carry things quietly, how to make your tiredness unobtrusive, how to keep your questions from taking up space. That's a lonely way to live. Not dramatic, just steadily emptying. I'm aware of how often you told yourself it shouldn't be this hard, how you compared your internal weight to the lightness others seem to move with. But I can feel what you've been holding, the accumulation of small efforts, the constant adjusting. You didn't stop because you were weak. You slowed because you were already carrying so much. There's no spotlight on endurance like this. No moment where someone says, I see how much this costs you. So let me say it quietly here. I see it. not as something to celebrate, not as something to fix, just as something real that you were never meant to hold by yourself. You're not being evaluated in this moment. Nothing about you needs to be justified. I'm here, close enough that you don't have to keep everything contained. We can let it rest between us for a while. I can feel that quiet distance you carry, not from others, from a version of yourself you once expected to become. It isn't anger, it's more like grief without a clear shape. You imagined a life that would feel more settled by now, a self that moved with more confidence, fewer questions trailing behind each step. When you notice the gap, it stings, not sharply, softly, in a way that lingers. You don't look at that imagined self with envy, you look with confusion, as if you're still trying to understand where the paths separated. I'm not asking you to close that distance. I'm not asking you to rename it as growth. I'm sitting with you in the in-between, where neither version fully explains you. You are not behind, even if it feels that way when you measure time in expectations. There is nothing wrong with noticing what didn't happen. There is nothing disloyal about missing a future you once held. This space doesn't mean something went wrong. It means you lived, and living changed things. I'm here with the tenderness of that realization, not to smooth it over, not to make it meaningful, just to let it be seen without pressure. You don't have to reconcile it tonight. You don't have to know what comes next. We in this space that feels unfinished. I can feel how often you check yourself, as if there's an invisible scale nearby, as if you're always a little unsure where you land. Even in quiet moments, there's a habit of counting progress, distance, what still hasn't happened. It's tiring to live like that, to never fully arrive anywhere, to keep scanning for proof that you're acceptable. I'm not asking you to stop measuring. I know it learned its job over time. It was trying to protect you from disappointment. But here with me, nothing is being weighed. You don't have to justify how long things are taking. You don't have to defend the shape of your life. This moment doesn't require credentials. It doesn't ask for explanations. You are allowed to exist without being assessed, to breathe without wondering if it's enough. I'm not looking at you as a sum of outcomes. I'm looking at you as someone present right now. There is a gentleness available when the tally pauses, not relief, just a soft quiet. We don't need to hold on to it. We don't need to make it permanent. Just notice how it feels to be here, without comparison, without verdict. I'm staying with you in this uncounted moment. I know how uncomfortable it is to leave things open, to not arrive at a clear answer, to not tie this into something complete. There's a part of you that keeps waiting for a final word, something definitive, something that would settle the question once and for all. But right now, there is only this moment, and you in it. Nothing has been concluded. Nothing has been decided about you. I'm not standing at the end of your story. I'm sitting here, inside it, while it's still unfolding. You don't need to move forward. You don't need to look back. Just stay. The quiet doesn't mean absence. It means room. I'm here without shaping this into meaning, without turning it into a lesson, without closing the space between us. You are not required to feel better. You are not required to understand yourself differently. We can let this remain unfinished. Let it breathe. Let it stay open. I'm still here. Not leaving when the answers don't come. Just here.